All right, we're going to do a quickie here and an upload. This is probably going to be maybe the last time I talk about any health issues on here. Not being a doctor, but just being a very educated person in regards to certain things that I've personally learned that I could maybe help you with, whether you're a friend or foe. Here's a little secret: extra virgin cold pressed olive oil. Now, by just taking a half a teaspoon a day, or you could take 2 half teaspoons a day, not only is it going to flush your system out real well if you're kind of stuffed up, if you know what I mean, but this will actually prevent strokes by 40%, prevent heart attacks for at least 20 to 30%. Amazing so far, huh? And will actually help reduce plaque in your arteries, which does lead to all these bad things. So make sure it's extra virgin. Now, keep in mind, and a doctor would tell you this, that if you take K2, which is a vitamin I talked about on here that helps prevent the artery clogging, confer with your doctor if you are on blood thinners. I must say that, and as a disclaimer to what I'm talking about on here, I'm not a doctor, so I don't want that responsibility. If you're on blood thinners and you're taking anything as such like K2 or something called nattokinase, Nattokinase, which will actually kind of help you flush out the plaque and so forth in your arteries, artery calcification, everything that goes in there. Confer with your doctor, because that could be a little dangerous if you actually are on blood thinners. So please keep that in mind. I'm making that important notation. But if you're not on blood thinners, I could easily make this broadcast and say, yes, taking vitamin K2 with your D3, okay? And here's what you want to do. You buy a product called nattokinase, which is basically fermented, what was that? Is it fermented soybeans? I think it was, anyway, it was a fermented plant used in China for centuries, okay? And what this does will actually go to your blood system. It will actually help flush, break up. It's kind of acting like a blood thinner. That's why I tell people, if you're on a blood thinner, confer with your doctor before you try it. That's got to put all these little disclaimers and so forth, warnings in there. Take your olive oil. You can just get away with a half a teaspoon a day. That's all you really need. You could push it up to a teaspoon, maybe 2 times, one time morning, 1 time at night. What it's going to do for you is also help your system, and it's called all the peristalsis gets acted up. You know, getting your system moved to flush out your waste. You know, when you go to the bathroom, that's gonna get it going. I believe the word is peristalsis, where your muscles are working extra time. They're helping move things through your system. So if you're constipated, that will help with that. Now, we could also do by taking olive oil, omega-3, you want more so than omega-6. What it's actually going to do is it's going to have a lot of other properties besides cleaning your artery out. See, your whole system, your blood, your heart pumps out the blood through all your systems, your kidney and everything else, and the blood returns back to the heart, okay? Follow me? All right, but there's always some residue of something left over in the kidney and so forth. By taking olive oil, this helps. It's kind of a clean out factory. You know, it helps clean out the residue. Now, another important thing about olive oil is it reduces inflammation. Now, why is that important? Don't worry, it's probably my last broadcast about health matters. I know everybody's cheering, okay. But if you listen to me, I'm probably saving your life. The life you save may be your own, but, you know, look at it as you want to look at it. Okay, where was I? Okay, so the olive oil is also acting to improve inflammation, because probably the biggest killer that causes all problems with your body, heart, everything else, is inflammation. It could be from a bruise, could be from damaged arteries or veins, okay, that have inflammation, and that's what causes your problems internally, metabolically, okay? So what olive oil does, it actually, it's a wonder. It's like a wonder drug, a natural wonder drug. it actually will reduce. I mean, you got arthritis. That's inflammation. Everything is inflammation. It can reduce inflammation in your body, and that is the biggest concern you have with all diseases. If I had to define everything, it'll help with cancer situations. Yes, it will. Are you a coffee drinker? Coffee is also known to be a natural antioxidant, and if you have like heart palpitations and so forth, you'll maybe want to drink a decaffeinated coffee. Some people have some palpitations, but they think it's a heart palpitation, but in fact, it could be more of a situation where you have a GERD situation, you have a reflux situation that can cause that. Keep that in mind. So yes, antioxidants all over the planet. The more you get into your body, the more you are fighting these free radicals. I'm going to give you an example. You put an apple. You know what it is? It's oxidation. You put an apple, you cut it up, and you open up the apple. And in a relatively small period of time, you'll see that apple kind of rusting color. It's kind of browning up. And that's the act of oxidation, oxygen on the apple that's turning it that color. Well, the same thing happens in your body. All the oxidation going on in your body, it would actually ruin your internal organs, and you have problems with them. And the whole reason for taking antioxidants, as I push on my show so many times, is that you are fighting these so-called free radicals that are just flying all over your body, inside your body. Smoker, or from the environment, and even from things that you consume. So there's always this constant fight inside your body to fight against these, this oxidation underlying that's going on in your body. And by taking antioxidants, you're balancing that out. Okay, you're making your cells stronger, everything to fight back. Now, you might say, well, Frank, you talk about vitamins and shit, but yet you smoke. But that would be a great response to me, and you would actually be right. But until I could quit smoking and just really put my mind to do it, one of the reasons I think many, I'm talking about decades I've been doing this, maybe the reason I'm still alive today, is that it's kind of like an insurance policy, I call it. And you don't want to let your insurance lapse, okay? But it's kind of like an insurance policy. If you fight all these if you put a lot of antioxidants into your body, you're going to fight those free radicals from the chemicals from the cigarettes, chemicals from buses, diesel, everything that's in the environment just floating around. Noxious gases, everything that gets into your body simply by breathing or is actually absorbed by your skin, which is actually considered your biggest organ on your body, not the liver. Everybody thought it was the liver. It's the biggest internal organ in your body, but the biggest organ in your body is your skin. Now, your skin takes in everything that goes on it. Everything. It absorbs. You may not think it is. You put different lotions on for sunblock lotion. You put all kinds of stuff on that have other ingredients and chemicals in it. And yes, your skin is actually absorbing that, okay? So keep that in mind too. But yes, if you concentrate and if you ever really needed to know what kind of antioxidants should I take, you could just ask me in the comments section and I'll certainly tell you. But keep in mind, I take K2 with D3. I take the D3 because the D3, vitamin D3, helps prevent the artery clogging, but the K2, the D3 actually, well, it does a lot of things. It works with the K2 to actually accomplish this task. Besides giving you, if you're not in the sun a lot, all you need is really a half hour of sunshine, and you'll probably get all the D3 you can, unless you have some condition. But basically, it's no harm in taking D3. Take at least 10,000 units, whatever, that's how it's measured on that. So you combine the D3 with the K2, they work synergistically together, okay? So the K2 is going to be the product that's going to do preventative work in your arteries to prevent you from having that stroke and heart attack. And then you move on to the nattokinase, N-A-T-T-O-K-I-N-A-C, look it up and understand what it's all about. That has been used for centuries, and it's a big thing now. When K2 became a real big thing, it's like becoming household now. thanks to science and testing and so forth, blind test and all that. The nattokinase is actually the substance that's going to help remove the shit out of your arteries, okay? All right, and that, you can read up on it, how much to take of that. I don't have the bottle in front of me, I forgot. But I do take it every day. And if you're aging, you're getting older, remember, you naturally build up a lot of plaque in your system. You build up a lot of atherosclerosis everywhere. Your carotid arteries in your neck, everywhere. Your heart valves. I could guarantee you right now, if you're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, you've got quite an accumulation of plaque in your system. Now, how much you have is going to determine your longevity, because once the piping, as I always put it, it's like that pipe, if it gets too clogged, it's going to prevent the flow, whether it's water, blood, whatever it might be. And that's important, because once it gets clogged, you will have a heart attack or stroke, whatever applies at the time. And that's why you're going to use this kind of product. So if you eat a lot of saturated fats, which is something you don't want to do. And by the way, you could eat eggs all week long. I wouldn't worry about the cholesterol in eggs. That's fine. So if you've been worrying about that, that's fine. But, you don't want to eat a lot of saturated fats, but you can balance this out a little bit by doing what I just told you and what to take. Okay, now this is not a doctor. It is a doctor's opinion. I'm not the doctor. I'm just relaying that information. Always do your own research. Always check with your own physician to verify the things I talk about on here. But because there's a certain liability with this, I probably won't be talking about this much more. I think I've talked about these subjects before. And if it's helped you, then I've done my job. And if just one person listens to me and does what I've been preaching all this time, I may have saved your life. You can thank me later. Well, you may not have to thank me. You may not know I saved your life, but I probably did, and I probably will. If you are obese, and we know a lot of YouTubers out there are quite obese out there, they're the ones of great concern combined with the age combination and their diet. So, you don't have to drink the olive oil. You could just put a little bit on your salad or in your foods. A lot of Italians, they like to put it on their bread with some garlic. Garlic's another blood cleanser. It's a natural antibiotic. It can lower blood pressure. There's some amazing things out there just in whole foods and good food. So if you're a person who is obese and you are just pounding in the burgers, pounding in the meat. Now, I'm going to give you an example of something here real quick. You'll know something if it's saturated fat by a very simple test. You ever make chicken soup and the fat settles in the chicken soup, comes to the top. When you put that in a cool place, you'll notice there's a white film, that kind of a hard film, that forms on the top of that soup, the broth, when you put it in the refrigerator. That, my friend, is saturated fat. You could skim that off right on the top. I've done that before. But that's what's sticking to your arteries. The same thing as beef and even chickens. If your skin is high in cholesterol, if you get juice from a chicken, you get juice from beef, and you let it cool off, you're going to see the same thing happening in your dish. You're going to see some white formation around it. That is actual saturated fat. That is not what you want. So what you may want to do, you like to have your steaks, be a surgeon, get your knife. I know, I'm wasting a good steak, and the fat is what's giving it all the flavor. I get it, man. The marbling and all that, you love that shit, don't you? Cut it off. Cut it off. Just cut it off. For your own health, cut it off. Give it to a starving animal or something. Maybe could use the fat or something. I don't know. But I wouldn't even give it to my dogs, to be honest with you. I really don't. And I still don't. Actually, I don't give fat to my dog, and we'd certainly try not to. So if you just follow a little bit of advice here, then maybe I could help you in some way. Does anybody deserve my help on here? That's very questionable. But I'm at least giving you that information, and you could throw it out the window. You could utilize this information and do what you can. Okay, so cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. You could drink it from the bottle, half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon every day, maybe separated 2 times a day, half a teaspoon is all you need. That's going to help you go poo-poo. Okay, it's going to increase the peristalsis, the muscle movement that pushes everything out and loosens things up. And it's going to help your arteries be healthy. I don't think anybody wants a heart attack. I know I don't. And that's why I do this shit. I mean, some people want to live a long time and some people don't really care. And they say, look, man, fuck that shit. I've been eating like this all my life. Nothing's ever happened to me. Well, it hasn't happened yet. Okay. Yet. But it will. Guaranteed. Guaranteed as taxes and death. It's going to happen to you. Your arteries are like any kind of piece of plumbing. Are you a plumber? How many drains have you cleaned out in pipes? You understand why you get a backup in the system, because pipes are clogged. The water and refuse can't get through. It's the same thing with your arteries. Same damn thing. All right, a little bit of advice. I'll shut up. I don't think I'm going to be going too much into health issues on here because you want to hear drama. I understand that. But, maybe it doesn't go to my audience out here, but maybe new people that come on don't mind hearing it. Okay. Now, I may just totally discontinue any talk about vitamins and supplements and all that stuff. It's my gig. I take certain things based on research, based on reliability, based on comparable studies, based on blind studies, things like that. Your body may be different than mine in different ways. But like I said, if you're on blood thinners, then you want to watch out what you take as far as supplementations that'll help they kind of act like a blood thinner. You may want to confer with your doctor on that. If you are on blood thinners, I would suggest maybe not to take some of these until you actually speak to your doctor. Yeah, that could be problematic. So I don't want to give out false information on here. All right? Just to protect myself and to protect you also. So, you know what to take. Take your D3 every day. Take your K2 every day. And if you really want to, as long as you're not on blood thinners and it's okay with your doctor, you can take the nattokinase. Okay? This is over-the-counter type stuff. You can find it. It's not really a common thing you find on the shelf, but you can get it. Masada has it, and places like that. Shopee, they all have that. And take that with a good diet. Doesn't mean you can't cheat. Everybody cheats. Everybody cheats, but like they say, everything in moderation. But you could actually balance out everything you eat, practically. Okay, but if you're going to continue to eat saturated fats, then that's a problem. You like steaks? You like eating steaks? You like eating hamburgers? Okay, a lot of people do. Okay, how about your French fries? A lot of these products already come with vegetable oil in it. And you're adding oil to fry these French fries. The one thing you don't want to use is any kind of flour or vegetable oils. You want to use, again, olive oil. Or, if you have an air fryer, which we do, French fries come out perfect in an air fryer. You could season it with garlic or onion, black pepper, salt, whatever you want to put on it. Okay? And a lot of these products actually come with, that's why they fry up so good. They're saturated, some of them, in vegetable oil. Okay? So what are you doing to yourself? Think about what your normal diet is. Get the deep, dark greens in there, the reds and oranges in your diet, the colors, oranges and reds and greens and yellows in your diet. Do that all the time. Do that every day. You could have a little bit of meat. You could have that hamburger you want. But if you're going to put mayonnaise on there, it's made from eggs. There's a lot of cholesterol. You could have a certain amount of that. I wouldn't really recommend mayo all the time. Just an occasional to put on your sandwich for flavor. Just about everything you buy in the store, salad dressings and everything, have so much crap in it. Carrageenan, preservatives, MSG. There's so much crap in there. If you could find like a natural, and the reason they put the preservatives in, it's for shelf life. They want their product to have shelf life. The stores want to have the shelf life because they could lay there for a while. So it doesn't hurt to bring your glasses. When you're in a supermarket, turn it around, because they never used to do this, many decades ago, really. Look at the ingredients inside the product you're getting. Okay, see if it pertains to your health, if it's advantageous for you, if there's going to be all these, like about 3 paragraphs worth of additives in there, then you probably don't want that. Unless you don't care, that's another thing. I know a lot of people, even on here, that'll say, hey man, I'm going to eat what I want. You only live once. Well, you know what? You're right. You do only live once. But how do you want to live is the question. Do you want to have all these ailments? You might as well be dead. Because if you're going to be living with all these ailments every single day, then you're going to make yourself ill. Remember, you got to carry your body around with you every day. Your brain carries your body around, the physical part of your body. And if you're in aches and pains and you get cancer and you get inflammation and you're always feeling sick all the time, well, ask yourself, is it worth it just to haphazardly take a shovel and just shovel any crap in your mouth? That's up to you guys. The rest is up to you. I could give you advice on something. I'm just a layman with this stuff, by the way. I'm not a professional. But, how does anybody learn? They read, listen. That's how I come up with all this stuff, because you hear it every now and then on my show. Always say I'm not a doctor. If you have any doubts about something, please check with your own personal physician. That's about the best advice I can give you. Thanks for listening for 21 minutes. Take care.